I'd like to talk with you about how much money I spend on this channel. So, wish me luck. Before we get started, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Owned.tv. Owned is, of course, your one-stop shop for all your stream aesthetic needs, whether it's an overlay, alerts, your profile picture, banners, whatever. And as many of you know, their overlays are modular. So for example, if you and all your friends pick up this duty overlay that you're looking at right now, none of you have to worry about having the exact same overlay because you can pick and choose different pieces that you like from. If you'd like to make the smart move like many from the community have done, feel free to use the link in the description below and pick one up. That link does also support this channel. Also, if you want 40% at checkout, use code alpha. It's a nice little discount. Yeah, a couple months ago, I uploaded a video that was kind of terrifying to post, and it was a complete breakdown of all the different ways that I make money and how much, almost like exactly, I make from all those revenues. I basically gave you my bank statement. This is something known in the industry as a bad idea. Fortunately, you guys are awesome and you seem to enjoy it, and hopefully I didn't come across as a serious like flexing dirtbag the whole time, because the response to the video was overwhelmingly positive. I still don't know how we pulled that off. Thank you guys. Spoiler, by the way, the number at the end of the video of how much I make on average is about 60K a month. And if you want to see the breakdown of all that, link to that video in the description down below. But the problem with that video is it insinuated that at the end of every month, I put $60,000 into my pocket. And man, that's the dream, right? Don't get me wrong, I do well. I do fine, I'm not complaining, but I would like to go into what I use that money for, what I invest my profits in, and how that's changed over the years as this channel has grown. And by the way, if there's like something I miss in this video, or maybe just a specific question you have, feel free to jump into my Twitch chat. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Link to that in the description below. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna do this in phases across the career path of being a YouTuber. And we're gonna start from phase 1, which is where most of you are at right now. This is when I was just starting. The channel wasn't even monetized yet, so I wasn't making any money. I still had a full-time job. At that point, I was saving up money for my job, and I invested in the bare bones, good quality basics. So for example, an entry-level DSLR, actually, do I have it? I had an entry-level Canon DSLR. This actually isn't it. I had a T2i that I used for years. With the stock lens on it, I used a Rode video mic that was like $100, mounted on top of the camera. I used 2 cheap photography lights from Amazon for like $40. And that was my gear for making music videos for like years. If my first social media career had been a gaming one, like it is now, instead of music, I probably also would have purchased a PC that could game, stream, and edit videos. And I've got a video on this channel of how to build one of those for about $650. Everything I needed and had before the channel started growing, that's a total of like $1,300, $1,350. And that was 7 years ago. Nowadays, phone cameras are so good that you could save $600 on the camera and just use your phone for a long time. I would even encourage it. That would bring your entire phase 1 investment down to like $800, $850, which is totally doable. This is the gear I used until the channel took off. Buying gear is fun, it's tempting, but the most valuable thing for content creators, both established creators and brand new ones, isn't gear, it's time. If I'd spent $2,000 on a nicer camera, nicer lens, and nicer microphone, I would have to work another 200 hours, because I think at the time after taxes, I was making like $10 an hour. That 200 hours could be used to write, film, and edit 40 YouTube videos. And by not spending that unnecessary cash, I could even take time off of work and just go ham on content creation, which I did, by the way. There was a point, I worked at the Apple store, and I actually asked my boss for 3 weeks off so I could focus on YouTube content. And because I wasn't spending a ton of money on gear, I was able to do that and still pay rent and, buy food and stuff. So in the end, phase 1, and oh my gosh, that's a giant spider. Glad you got to witness that. Oh my gosh. Got him. Sorry, spider bro. So in the end, phase 1, $800 invested, $0 returned, because the moment your channel gets monetized and you start making money, we move on to phase 2. So let's say, just for definition's sake, phase 2 is from the point where you start making a couple $100s a month and it's really supplementing your income to the point where you can actually go full-time and quit your job. I'm gonna give you some advice that is scary to hear and also very scary to give. Invest as much as you possibly can back into your content. There will be a month where you have a video that does better than any other video you've done, and your Twitch payout has like an extra 0 on it, and it will be very tempting to take that money and throw it right into a savings account because you've never seen that amount of money before on a paycheck. But if you believe you have the potential to grow even higher, give yourself that opportunity by investing in yourself. This actually happened to me on this channel in December of 2018 when I posted the video, why Twitch growth is almost impossible. The viewership on the channel multiplied by like a factor of 10, and the paycheck went from, in November, about $150 to that December, about $1,300, combined with about $1,600 to $2,000 on Twitch as well. That was a huge moment for me, and it would be tempting to take that money, throw it in the bank, and keep working at my job and make even more money. But I knew that those opportunities don't come very often, so I immediately quit my job, and I invested in a little bit of gear over the next couple months. Things like this lens, actually, a little bit of a fancier lens. A DSLR, even an entry-level DSLR, can look a lot better if you put a decent lens on it. That was about $500, invested in a nice microphone. This one you're still seeing right here. Let me see if I can, there you go. This guy, as well as a recording system. So that was about $800. And I picked up a dedicated gaming PC because the single PC setup I was using, I'd added so many overlays and animations to that thing that it was dropping so many frames. So I picked up a gaming PC for about $1,600. And this was, of course, over a period of a couple months, but the best investment came about 5 months later in May of 2019, and this was when I invested in my time. Because even though I'd picked up all this new gear, I was still trying to write, film, and edit 2 videos a week while also streaming 3 or 4 days a week. I was lacking sleep. I was cutting corners on filming videos because I knew that it would end up adding like 2 hours of editing time, and I just didn't have the energy for that. So my content was starting to lack. My viewership was actually declining, and so was the income on the channel. And that's when I invested in an editor. I hired Sam. You guys know Sam. He's the one who puts all the sassy text on the screen whenever I mess up. He's gonna put it there too. Just what did he say? Tell me what he said. At this point, the channel was making about $1,400, and Sam came in and said he could edit a video for $150, but I knew if I paid him that little, he would probably have to keep his job. And maybe I'm selfish, I wanted Sam full time. I wanted him to be as dedicated to the channel as I was. So I turned around and offered him instead $250 a video. So 2 videos a week, $250 a video for a full month is about $2,000. Meaning Sam was taking not only 100% of the YouTube revenue, but a pretty solid chunk of my Twitch revenue also. There was probably a while there when Sam was making more money than I was. And it's my channel. But this was by far the best investment I could have possibly made. The quality of the content went up, the consistency of the content went up, my sleep went up, and within the next month, the YouTube channel itself had gone up to over $3,000 a month. Still, at this point, any extra dollar the channel was making that didn't go towards rent or just being alive went immediately back into the channel, whether it was buying PC parts for like a budget PC build video or buying a couple extra cameras for comparison videos. For the remainder of 2019, as the channel grew from making about $3,000 a month to $10,000 a month, in addition to about maybe 20K that I was making on a combination of Twitch and Amazon links, pretty much every spare dollar went back into making the videos as good as I possibly could. There was one purchase we made that I probably wouldn't call an investment. It was more of a guilty pleasure purchase. We went out and we got a Tesla Model 3, and I don't regret it one bit. I'd been killing myself at this job for years, and now I finally had something tangible that I could sit in, I could feel, I could drive, and remind myself of why I was working so hard. All the other investments I bought were to make the videos better. This purchase was to make me better. And I would say it worked. At this point, let's transition into phase 3. Phase 3 is the point where you are making enough money on your content that you don't have to be concerned about your bank account drying up unless you buy like multiple Red cameras or something. So let's run off the number I said in the aforementioned video. Let's say I'm making $60K a month. What do I spend that on today? And by the way, I probably shouldn't have to say this, but by this point, like every phase 3 channel is so different than all the other ones that my purchases are going to be very different than your purchases. So don't take this as like direct advice. Invest in the things you need, not the things I needed. But let's get into these phase 3 investments here. One, I'm able to invest in the high-end gear that I need so that the quality of the content matches the size of the channel. That includes the cinema camera that I'm shooting this on right now, which is about a $5,000 rig, which is, includes the body, the speed booster, the lens, the drive, the screen, all the things. A motorized camera slider for those buttery smooth B-roll shots that we use. A beefy PC for not only an awesome YouTube video, but also as a sexy display for my stream. 2, I'm able to clean up the brand of the channel. For example, redesigning the Alpha Gaming logo. Though I guess that was like a paid sponsored video by Fiverr. So technically I didn't pay for the logo, but if that opportunity hadn't come, that's what I would have invested in. 3, I've been able to give Sam multiple raises, so you guys can stop with the whole hashtag give Sam a raise thing. That's getting annoying. And not to mention, I've hired 2 other people for different content. But more importantly, this income has given me the funds to expand into things outside this channel that I want to do. StreamBeats was a huge investment and is responsible for like half of my income, half of that 60K that I mentioned. But before I could make a single dollar off of StreamBeats, I had to buy every single song for StreamBeats entirely out of my own pocket. That investment started in January of 2020 when I was probably making 20 to 30K, though after these investments and rent and all the things, I mean, we're talking less than 5 to 10K a month. And I ended up investing a total of about $40,000 into StreamBeats. It was a serious hit to our bank account and just a terrifying decision to make because I had no guarantee that it would make me back any more money. And not only that, but it took 5 months for us to get our first paycheck from Spotify. And I was still buying more music at that point. But I did it because I believed in the project. And if I hadn't invested in something like that, this money would just be sitting in a savings account doing nothing anyway. But I had to pay for the songs, the artwork, the publishing, the logo. I actually hired someone to handle all the, searching for producers and finding good music. Most of that 40K was invested in January of 2019. It is now the end of August. And a month ago is the very first month that it officially turned a profit. It took a while, but it's doing well now. So the question becomes, now that I've invested tens of thousands of dollars into these projects that are now turning a profit, do I finally pocket it and actually start making money? Of course not. I have a handful of projects I'm working on right now. Some of them I can talk to you about on stream. Some of them I don't want to tell you about yet. But a big one right now is we are taking just about every single extra penny we make and we are saving that for the Alpha Gaming studio of my dreams. My wife and I are working on building a house where the entire basement floor is a dedicated space for both Alpha Gaming and Senpai Records, with an editing room for Sam to live in, a recording studio to start producing StreamBeats in-house, a dedicated A-roll and a B-roll room to make these videos look incredible. Oh, sorry, I just got the chills. Anyway, the point is that yes, while our income has increased dramatically since moving into this small townhome 4 years ago, we still live here because we decided to invest every dollar we make back into the growth of this company. Anyway, I hope this wasn't like a, too much information video where you're like, why is he sharing all this stuff? I hope this ended up being a really neat insight into the business world of content creation. Things are going to change quite a bit on this channel in 2020. And in a year, if you guys liked this video, I'll have to make another one updating you. And of course, again, if there's something I missed or a specific question you have, feel free to jump into my Twitch chat. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, link in the description below. And as always, happy streaming.
Oh, out of nowhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a wolf ahead of you.
So
Let's
good.
hope he misses. Oh, he missed! Oh, no! Did you do it?
I did it!